Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about zodiac or astrological sign compatibility between Leo and Libra. And yes, it does apply to the sun, moon, and descendant for both people. Leo and Libra are compatible by sign. They are two signs apart or sextile by sign. And they're both masculine signs, suggesting extroversion and more about being more sociable as opposed to being private or introverted. You have Leo, which is really like the epitome of gregariousness, gregariousness. And then you have Libra, which is really about intellectual exchange of ideas with others. Libra is sociable and they're relationship oriented, and they often are really can be very communicative and like to exchange their ideas, their concepts about things with others. And really, when you have this combination, I know it's very positive, of course, but there are some differences and disparities at the same time. I don't think there's any perfect astrological match. And the thing about this combination for compatibility is that Leo is really is being a fixed sign. They're going to be very set and sometimes intractable as far as their viewpoints go. And Libra is really more about compromise, and they're more about listening to the other person's point of view. The thing is, though, Libra is very equitable at the same time and will at some point, I believe, voice his or her opinion if they feel Leo is really out of line with what he or she says. If there's any dispute between these people, it's often going to be reconciled through Libra, because Leo is going to be very steadfast, more steadfast in his or her opinions as opposed to Libra. So those are, and Leo can also be more dogmatic as opposed to Libra. So those are some things to look at as far as compatibility with this goes. Now, at least with these two people. Now, the thing is, too, is that these two people, being both masculine signs, they're also more optimistic than pessimistic. And you won't really hear probably too many derogatory things being said to each other regarding each other. There could be very positive, and Libra is very charming and will praise Leo and will accentuate the positive in Leo. And if there's something derisive about Leo that Libra wants to say, it'll likely be put in a very tactful and diplomatic manner, in such a way where it won't alienate Leo or hurt Leo's feelings, which is very important, because Leo's ego can be hurt probably more easily than any of the other zodiac signs. Are not necessarily the most sensitive of the signs, but if it's something regarding what might be construed or perceived as a criticism regarding something that they've done, then as far as that Leo ego can be very strong and can be hurt rather easily. Now, as far as in the bedroom goes, well, if this is a romantic slash a significant other sexual situation, well, this is obviously very compatible as well. I mean, Leo might be the dominant one in this particular situation. Leo wants to be lauded and hear and really be seen as praiseworthy as far as what they're doing in the bedroom, so to speak. Libra could be very charming and eloquent, and will really and can really state very positively what Leo is as far as what good they're doing and the positive that they're bringing in the bedroom. And Leo, being a fire sign, could be very passionate. And the Libra is ruled by Venus, and Libra is strongly connected with love. And there won't be any shortage, generally speaking, of Libra bringing this to Libra. So Leo will be very appeased by this. And in Leo being very passionate and I believe ardent as well, Libra will appreciate this in return. So it is, to me, I see this as compatibility very strong as far as in the bedroom goes. And you have on another disparity though with Leo and Libra is that Leo, though not necessarily is going to be arrogant, Libra might be taken a little aback by Leo and maybe comes across that way maybe sometimes to Libra, because Libra is generally very humble and reticent, and they're not ones to really boast about their achievements. And Leo is the type that really won't hold back or won't really restrain his or herself from talking about perhaps what they do. And I think Libra needs to be accepting of this, and Leo needs to be accepting of Libra in terms of maybe them not always really talking about maybe what their achievements or accomplishments are. So anyway, it's also important to look at the aspect, if any, that is made between the energies of these people, as this could indicate perhaps greater compatibility or maybe not as much as otherwise indicated. Now, in many cases, you will have a sextile aspect take place between the energies of these people. And let's say, for example, one person has the sun, moon, or ascendant at Leo at 9 degrees, and the other person has the sun, moon, or ascendant in Libra at 11 degrees. Well, this is auspicious and positive, and you may even have greater harmony than otherwise indicated by the general compatibility delineation and interpretation. They already are sextile by sign, they're compatible by sign, but if you have the sextile aspect in addition to this, this could only help. So you could also have an out of sign square aspect take place, which could be adverse or adversarial. Let's say, for example, one person has the sun, moon, or ascendant at 1 degree Leo, and the other person has the sun, moon, or ascendant at 29 degrees Libra. This would be an out of sign square aspect, which could be adverse. And even though you're still going to have the sextile by sign, but if you have the square aspect, you might have a few more challenges in the relationship and maybe some disparities than otherwise indicated. Now, you could also have a semi-square aspect take place between the energies of these people. Let's say, for example, someone has the sun, moon, or ascendant in Leo at 29 degrees, and the other person has the sun, moon, or ascendant in Libra at 0 degrees. This could form a semi-sextile aspect, which I call slightly positive or auspicious, because it is a minor aspect. It's like the sextile, though, but not as intense because it is minor and not a major one. Now, you could also have a semi-square aspect take place between the energies of these people. Let's say, for example, one person has the sun, moon, or ascendant in Leo at 19 degrees, and the other person has the sun, moon, or ascendant in Libra at 4 degrees. I call this slightly adverse or adversarial. It's like the square, with it may present a few challenges, but not as strong or as intense as the square aspect, because this is a minor aspect and not a major one. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for astrological or zodiac sign compatibility between Leo and Libra. And stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about zodiac sign compatibility between Leo and Scorpio. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.